Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why some days you feel older than others? You notice more lines around your eyes, your joints feel stiffer, and getting out of bed takes just a little more effort than it did even a year ago. You're not imagining things, and you're certainly not alone. What many people don't realize is that aging isn't just about the passing of time. It's about what we do or don't do during that time. And here's something that might surprise you. Many of us are making simple mistakes every single day that are actually accelerating the aging process. That's right. Without even knowing it, you might be speeding up your own aging through habits that seem harmless or even healthy. I've spent years researching aging, speaking with seniors who defy their chronological age, and studying the latest research on longevity. And today, I want to share with you the 5 most damaging daily mistakes I see people over 70 making. Mistakes that could be adding years to your body while stealing time from your life. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which habits to change and what to do instead. And the best part? Number 3 is something so surprising, yet so simple to fix, that you might find yourself feeling younger within just days of making the change. Before we get started, I'd love to know, how old do you feel compared to your actual age? Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos on living your best life at any age. Now let's begin with the first critical mistake that's aging you faster than you realize. Mistake number 1, starting your day with the wrong morning ritual. Margaret was 78 when she first came to one of my workshops. Elegant, well-dressed, but visibly tired. Dark circles shadowed her eyes, and her movements were slow, cautious, as if her body hurt with each step. "I just don't have the energy I used to," she told me over a cup of tea. "I wake up exhausted, even after sleeping all night." When I asked about her morning routine, Margaret's answer revealed the first aging accelerator. "Oh, I check the news on my tablet first thing. Then I have my coffee and maybe some toast if I remember to eat." What Margaret didn't realize was that this seemingly innocent morning ritual was actually programming her body for accelerated aging. Here's why. When you first wake up, your cortisol levels naturally rise to help you become alert and ready for the day. This is healthy. But when you immediately expose yourself to stressful news, political tensions, economic worries, health crises, you're sending your cortisol soaring far beyond healthy levels. Chronically elevated cortisol doesn't just make you feel stressed. It actively breaks down collagen in your skin, leading to more wrinkles and sagging. It weakens your immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. It even disrupts your sleep the following night, creating a vicious cycle of poor rest and accelerated aging. And that's just from checking the news first thing. Then there's the coffee on an empty stomach. While coffee itself isn't necessarily bad, drinking it first thing can cause a spike in both cortisol and blood sugar, creating inflammation throughout your body. Inflammation is one of the primary drivers of aging, affecting everything from your joints to your heart to your brain. So what should your morning ritual look like instead? I recommended that Margaret make 3 simple changes. First, keep her phone and tablet out of the bedroom entirely. Instead of reaching for technology, take the first 15 minutes of the day to simply be present. Stretch gently in bed, feel your body. Take several deep breaths, filling your lungs completely and exhaling slowly. Second, drink a full glass of room temperature water with a squeeze of lemon before anything else. This rehydrates your body after a night of sleep, gently stimulates your digestive system, and provides a small dose of vitamin C and antioxidants that fight free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage cells and accelerate aging. Third, get some natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up. Just 5 to 10 minutes of morning sun helps regulate your circadian rhythm, improves mood, and enhances vitamin D production, a crucial vitamin many seniors are deficient in. Vitamin D deficiency is linked to muscle weakness, bone fragility, and even cognitive decline. After 3 weeks of changing her morning ritual, Margaret returned to our workshop looking noticeably different. Her eyes were clearer, her movements more fluid. "I can't believe the difference," she said. "I actually look forward to mornings now, and my granddaughter said my skin looks better." That's the power of changing just one aging, accelerating habit. But there's another daily mistake that might be even more damaging to your longevity. Mistake number 2. The protein mistake most seniors make after 70. Let's talk about something that happens to all of us as we age, yet few people address properly: muscle loss. After 70, your body naturally loses muscle at a faster rate, about 3 to 5% per decade if you do nothing to prevent it. This condition, called sarcopenia, doesn't just make you weaker. It's directly linked to shorter lifespan, increased fall risk, and loss of independence. But here's the mistake I see constantly. Most seniors aren't getting nearly enough protein, and they're getting it at the wrong times. Let me introduce you to Robert. At 81, he was active all his life, a former high school physical education teacher who prided himself on staying fit. Yet he noticed his strength fading. Simple tasks like carrying groceries or lifting his great-grandchildren became more difficult. His doctor simply told him, "That's normal aging." But there was nothing normal about it. When we reviewed Robert's diet, I noticed 2 critical errors. First, he was consuming most of his protein at dinner, a large piece of chicken or fish in the evening, but very little earlier in the day. Second, his total protein intake was far below what his aging body actually needed. You see, after 70, your body becomes less efficient at processing protein. What scientists call anabolic resistance means you need more protein than younger adults to maintain muscle. Research shows that while younger adults might need 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, those over 70 need at least 1.2 to 1.5 grams, nearly twice as much. Even more importantly, this protein needs to be spaced throughout the day. Having one protein-rich meal doesn't maximize muscle maintenance. Your body can only use about 30 grams of protein for muscle building at one time. For Robert, we made a simple change, adding protein to his breakfast and lunch, not just dinner. Instead of just toast in the morning, he added 2 eggs. For lunch, he included a palm-sized portion of tuna, chicken, or Greek yogurt, and he kept his protein-rich dinner. The results were remarkable. Within 2 months, Robert felt stronger. His grip strength improved. He could once again pick up his 3-year-old great-granddaughter without worry. His body was fighting back against the natural course of muscle loss. So, what proteins work best for aging bodies? Eggs are excellent. They contain all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need, plus they're easy to digest. Greek yogurt provides both protein and beneficial probiotics. And don't forget plant proteins like lentils and beans, which offer the added benefit of fiber for digestive health. For those who struggle to eat enough protein-rich foods, a high-quality protein supplement can help bridge the gap. Look for ones specifically formulated for seniors, with added vitamin D and calcium for bone health. But remember, supplements should supplement, not replace whole foods. The protein in real food comes packaged with other nutrients your body needs for optimal aging. Now let's move on to mistake number 3. The one that might surprise you most because it involves something most of us do every single night without realizing how dramatically it ages us. Mistake number 3, the nighttime habit that's silently aging your brain. Helen was sharp as a tack at 75, former librarian, crossword puzzle enthusiast, grandmother of 5. But in recent months, she'd noticed something troubling. Her memory wasn't quite what it used to be. Words she wanted to say hovered just out of reach. Names occasionally slipped away. Nothing serious enough to worry her doctor, but enough to worry her. "I'm afraid I'm losing my edge," she confided. "I've always been the one everyone comes to for answers, and now I'm forgetting the simplest things." Um, when I asked about her evening routine, Helen's response illuminated the third aging accelerator. I usually watch the news before bed. Then I read on my tablet for a while until I feel sleepy enough. Sometimes that takes an hour or more. This seemingly innocent habit was aging Helen's brain faster than almost anything else she could do. Here's why. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, computers, and TVs directly suppresses melatonin production, the hormone your brain needs to trigger deep, restorative sleep. But it's not just about feeling tired the next day. During deep sleep, your brain activates a remarkable cleaning system called the glymphatic system. Think of it as a nighttime cleaning crew that removes toxic proteins like beta amyloid, the same protein that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. This system works primarily during the deepest stages of sleep, precisely the stages that blue light disrupts. One study found that just a single night of poor sleep increased beta amyloid levels by up to 5% in brain regions associated with memory. Imagine what happens when this becomes a nightly pattern over months and years. Beyond brain toxins, inadequate deep sleep also reduces the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein essential for creating new neural connections. Without sufficient BDNF, your brain's ability to learn, remember, and adapt gradually diminishes. For Helen, the solution was straightforward but required breaking a lifelong habit. No screens of any kind for at least 90 minutes before bedtime. Instead, she would read physical books under warm light, listen to calming music, or simply talk with her husband. She was skeptical at first. "I've been reading on my tablet for years. Could it really make that much difference?" The answer was yes. After just 2 weeks of screen-free evenings, Helen noticed she was falling asleep faster and waking up feeling more refreshed. After a month, those elusive words didn't seem quite so elusive anymore. Her crossword puzzle times improved. Her mind felt clearer. If giving up screens before bed seems impossible, consider using blue light blocking glasses in the evening. While not as effective as avoiding screens altogether, they can reduce some of the melatonin-suppressing effects. Many of my clients over 70 find them helpful, especially when watching evening television. Also, make your bedroom as dark as possible. Even small amounts of light, from a digital clock, a nightlight, or outdoor street lamps, can penetrate closed eyelids and disrupt sleep quality. Blackout curtains or a comfortable sleep mask can make a significant difference. Remember, your brain is not exempt from aging, but how quickly it ages is more within your control than you might think. Now let's move on to mistake number 4, a daily habit so common that most doctors never even think to ask about it, yet it could be robbing you of precious years. Mistake number 4, the hydration mistake nearly every senior makes. James was 83, a retired engineer with an analytical mind and methodical approach to everything. Yet despite his careful attention to health, he struggled with persistent fatigue, frequent headaches, and increasingly troubling memory lapses. "I take all my medications on schedule," he told me during our first meeting. "I eat reasonably well. I even walk every morning, but I feel like I'm fading faster than I should be." When I asked about his daily water intake, James looked puzzled. "I don't get very thirsty," he said. "Maybe a cup of coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon, and some water with meals." And there it was, the fourth aging accelerator, chronic, subtle dehydration. What James didn't realize is that after age 70, your thirst sensation naturally diminishes, even as your body's need for hydration remains crucial. This creates a dangerous situation where you simply don't feel thirsty, even when your body is desperately in need of water. The consequences of this ongoing mild dehydration are far more serious than most people realize. When you're even slightly dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more concentrated. Your heart must work harder to pump this thicker blood through your vessels. Over time, this additional strain can accelerate cardiovascular aging. Your brain, which is roughly 75% water, is particularly vulnerable. Studies show that even mild dehydration, just 1–2% below optimal, can impair cognitive function, affecting concentration, memory, and decision-making. For seniors already concerned about cognitive decline, chronic dehydration essentially accelerates the very processes they fear most. Dehydration also affects your skin's elasticity and appearance, making wrinkles more prominent and skin more fragile. The thin, paper-like skin many associate with advanced age is partially the result of chronic dehydration. Perhaps most concerning for those over 70 is the effect on kidney function. Your kidneys naturally lose some filtering capacity with age. When chronically dehydrated, this reduced function is stressed even further, potentially leading to more serious kidney issues and accelerating their decline. For James, the solution was systematic, appealing to his engineer's mindset. 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning, before each meal, and at specific times throughout the day. I suggested he set alarms on his phone as reminders until the habit became automatic. I also advised adding slices of fruit to his water, lemon, cucumber, or berries, both for flavor and for the additional antioxidants they provide. For variety, we included herbal teas, which count toward daily fluid intake while providing additional health benefits. Within just 2 weeks, James reported his afternoon headaches had disappeared completely. After a month, his energy levels had noticeably improved. "My daughter says I seem more alert when we talk on the phone," he told me, with evident satisfaction. But the benefits weren't just subjective. At his next medical checkup, his blood pressure had improved and laboratory tests showed better kidney function markers. How much water should you drink daily after 70? While individual needs vary based on weight, activity level, and climate, a good starting point is taking your weight in pounds, dividing it by 2, and drinking that many ounces of water daily. For a 150-pound person, that's 75 ounces, or about 9–10 cups of fluid. If you take medications that act as diuretics, or have certain heart or kidney conditions, consult your doctor about your specific hydration needs. But for most seniors, more water, consumed consistently throughout the day, can significantly slow multiple aspects of the aging process. Now let's move on to the 5th and final mistake. One that might be the most widespread of all, and yet few people connect it to accelerated aging. Mistake number 5, the isolation trap that's shortening your life. Eleanor was 76 when her husband of 51 years passed away. Dignified and private by nature, she assured everyone she was managing well. She kept her home immaculate, prepared proper meals for herself, and never missed a doctor's appointment. But when I met Eleanor a year after her loss, the signs of accelerated aging were unmistakable. Her posture had become stooped, her movements were hesitant. The vibrant woman her friends had described seemed diminished somehow, not just by grief, but by something more insidious. "I'm fine on my own," she insisted when I gently inquired about her social life. "I've never been one to need much company." Eleanor had fallen into the 5th aging accelerator, social isolation. What Eleanor didn't realize, what many seniors don't recognize, is that social isolation is as damaging to longevity as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. This isn't poetic exaggeration. It's the conclusion of multiple research studies examining the impact of isolation on health and aging. When you lack regular, meaningful human contact, your body responds as if under threat. Inflammatory markers increase, stress hormones rise, your immune system becomes less effective at fighting illness, your sleep quality deteriorates. All of these accelerate the aging process at a cellular level. The impact is so profound that researchers at Brigham Young University found social isolation increases mortality risk by 29%. Comparable to clinical obesity or alcoholism. What makes this particularly dangerous for those over 70 is how easily isolation can develop. Retirement removes workplace connections. Friends and family may move away or pass on. Mobility challenges can make getting out more difficult. Hearing loss, experienced by nearly 2/3 of adults over 70, can make social interactions frustrating rather than fulfilling. Gradually, your world shrinks, and as it does, your body and brain age faster. For Eleanor, the solution began with a small step, a weekly community class on watercolor painting, something she'd always wanted to try. "I'm terrible at it," she told me with the first genuine laugh I'd heard from her. "But the other beginners are just as bad, and we're having a wonderful time being awful together." That single weekly commitment led to coffee after class with 2 other women, which evolved into regular lunch gatherings. Within 6 months, Eleanor had developed a modest but meaningful social network. The changes in her were remarkable. Her posture straightened, her voice became stronger, more animated. The mental sharpness that had been dulling returned. Even her doctor commented on improvements in her blood pressure and inflammatory markers. So how can you avoid the isolation trap? First, recognize that meaningful social contact is not a luxury or indulgence. It's a health essential, as important as proper nutrition or adequate sleep. Second, start small, especially if you've been isolated for some time. A weekly class, a faith-based gathering, or a volunteer position for just a few hours can provide structured interaction without overwhelming you. Third, consider how technology might help rather than hinder connection. While it shouldn't replace in-person interaction, video calls with distant family members or online communities focused on your interests can supplement your social network. Fourth, don't overlook the value of even brief exchanges. A conversation with a store clerk, a mail carrier, or a neighbor walking their dog all contribute to your social well-being. Simple exchanges like these have been shown to improve mood and cognitive function. And finally, if mobility issues make getting out difficult, explore community services designed for seniors. Many areas have senior transportation options, visiting volunteer programs, or telephone check-in services that can help maintain human connection. Remember, the goal isn't to fill every moment with social activity, particularly if you're naturally more introverted. It's to ensure you have regular, meaningful human contact that keeps your mind engaged and reminds your body that you are part of a community, a powerful signal that promotes longevity. Now that we've explored these 5 aging accelerators, the wrong morning ritual, insufficient protein, screen time before bed, chronic dehydration, and social isolation, you might be wondering, is it really possible to reverse the damage already done? The encouraging answer is yes, the human body has a remarkable capacity for renewal at any age. Take Clara, for example. At 84, she decided to address all 5 of these mistakes after watching her slightly younger sister decline rapidly. Clara committed to a screen-free evening routine, increased her protein intake throughout the day, established a calm morning ritual, set hydration alarms, and joined a twice-weekly walking group. 6 months later, her biological markers showed improvement across the board. Her inflammatory levels decreased, her muscle mass increased slightly, her sleep quality improved dramatically, her doctor reduced 2 of her medications. "I'm not trying to live forever," Clara told me with characteristic directness. "I just want the years I have to be good ones, and they are much better now." That's what addressing these 5 mistakes can do, not necessarily add decades to your life, though they might, but certainly add life to your decades. So here's my challenge to you. Choose just one of these 5 areas to address this week. Don't try to change everything at once. Small, consistent changes create lasting results. Maybe you'll start with proper hydration, setting alarms, and preparing infused water each morning. Or perhaps you'll establish a screen curfew, putting devices away 90 minutes before bedtime. Whatever you choose, commit to it for just 7 days, and notice how different you feel. If this video has been helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. Your simple actions could help someone else avoid these aging accelerators and enjoy a better quality of life. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 mistakes surprised you most? Which one will you address first? Leave a comment below. I read everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more research-based advice on aging well, staying strong, and living with vitality, regardless of your chronological age. Remember, aging is inevitable, but accelerated aging is optional. You have more control than you might think over how your body and mind experience the passing years. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, here's to aging slower, living better, and making every year count.